Yeah, good morning and that, but it's Uncle Lou here, though. Yeah, that's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube today with your afternoon game halftime report. And we've got a couple of good games on. Texas and Louisiana, 7-3. 12 minutes to go in the second quarter of that one. Texas on top, 7-3, threatening to score again. Iowa all over Indiana. That one's not even close. Oregon, I don't know what the hell Oregon's doing. I stayed pissed off at Oregon all last season because they've got so much talent compared to anybody else in the Pac-12 other than maybe Southern Cal. But they just come out and look so mediocre every single week. And here they are doing it again against something called Fresno State. Now, they're winning 31-24. 2:05 to go in the game. So maybe they hang on and win this thing, but not an impressive win, especially when you look at the schedule and see you got to travel to Columbus, Ohio next week to take on Ohio State. And listen, I was hard on Ohio State too, especially in the first half of that game. But the reality is they were a 13.5-point favorite on the road at a pretty good Minnesota team and a Minnesota team that is coached excellently. And they won by 14. So they in the end, Ohio State outperformed expectations. Right now, if you had to pick the Ohio State-Oregon game, who are you picking? Ohio State. I mean, Ohio State's liable to skull drag them up and down the field. Now, compare that to somebody like Oklahoma. Now, these deadbeats here come out today and get Tulane. They were supposed to play in Tulane. The hurricane came through. So you got a Tulane football team who's homeless. They don't know where their pets or their relatives are. There's no power in the state of Louisiana. So they changed the game to Norman. All Tulane does is travel up to Norman and almost beat the damn Sooners. You know, the Sooners with that damn little house on the prairie covered wagon wheel thing they have, I don't know if it tipped over in this game like it does in most games, but Oklahoma's program is about to tip over. 40-35, Oklahoma comes away with a miracle upset of something called Tulane. And could have lost that game. Could have lost that game. They got outplayed in the first quarter. Oklahoma played great in the second quarter and then completely disappeared in the second half and let Tulane come all the way back. Oklahoma was up, I think, 40-14 at one point. And the final score was 40-35. It was just an absolute disaster in Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler looked below average. The defense played pretty good in the second quarter. Other than that, they couldn't stop a nosebleed. It's just embarrassing. Texas is struggling with Louisiana, Lafayette. Let me ask you this. Are Texas and Oklahoma the two worst teams in the SEC? It's possible. I'd like to see Vandy take on Texas, and let's have Oklahoma take on either Tennessee or South Carolina and figure out who really are the two worst teams in the SEC. That's what I would like to see. Alabama, that's probably why you clicked on this video, all over the Hurricanes. 27-0 until the very end of the second quarter. And Miami kicks a field goal to make themselves feel better. You're down 27-0. You've got the ball on the 20-yard line with 5 seconds to go. And your quarterback runs to the middle of the field, falls down, and calls timeout so that you can basically... kicking a field goal in that spot is the football equivalent of a security blanket. It's just to make you feel good. It doesn't mean anything. Alabama is doing whatever they want, whenever they want. Miami's defense can't stop Bama. Miami's offense can't get a first down. De'Aaron King is running around like a chicken with his head cut off. The U is back. Back to being just like they were last year, and the year before that, 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 all the way back till 2001. Miami's just been absolutely terrible since joining the ACC. I mean, there's just no sugarcoating it. There's no sugarcoating it. And it's like I was saying a little while ago. Yeah, Miami could still win 10 games this year. Doesn't mean they're a great team. Look at their schedule. They don't play anybody. They're in the ACC, for Christ's sake. Their toughest game, let this sink in. Miami's toughest game after today is North Carolina. God dang. I mean, the ACC is, they're not even treading water. Clemson is so far ahead of everyone else in that conference, it's just ridiculous. You know, every conference has you know, its dominant team. The SEC has Bama. But there's teams every year that are pretty close to Bama. The Big Ten has Ohio State, but Ohio State gets tested from time to time. What? Not in the ACC. Not in the ACC. The ACC is Clemson and then a whole bunch of 7-win teams. So yeah, Miami could win 10 games. But and again, I guess you'll pat yourself on the back for that too, just like you're doing with this field goal here. That field goal was the football equivalent of an emotional support dog. That's what that was. and you reach down there and you're petting him on his ass and shit to make yourself feel better. Y'all are sick.